Hey Cass, how are things at home? Everything okay?
Andrew's watching daytime television and criticizing every program, and the potato is building something noisy in the basement.
Business as usual then.
Yes, Turjan. I have a call for you from Starstone Industries.
Who's it from? Not more journalists, I hope. I've had enough of being the galaxy's flavour of the month celebrity explorer.
No, it's Greedy. Oh, screw this. It's Mr. Starstone Industries himself.
You never can get that name right, can you?
Well, that's your fault for not programming me to speak ancient Welsh, isn't it?
Oh, just call him Gideon instead.
But he hates that.
I know. Gideon, how nice to hear from you.
William Turjan, not Gideon, but of course you're well aware of that. Look, I need a small favour from you.
Oh, joy. What is it this time? Another holobook signing? Exploration show and tell at an Orbris primary school?
Very true. No, nothing so prosaic. This is much more interesting. I want you to retrieve something for me. Something from the past.
What? Wait, what? The past? Are you saying Starstone Industries has a time machine?
No, not yet. Anyway, you misunderstand. I didn't mean literal time travel. This is more the metaphorical kind. It's archaeology, you see. Space archaeology. I want you to visit a certain location and retrieve a certain item for me.
Space archaeology? Alright, I'll bite. Why me, exactly?
Because of your adventures in the far black, of course. With all of those mysteries and puzzles and strange encounters, I'd say that for you the unusual has now become the usual. So that makes it your... what's that archaic word you're so fond of?
Bailiwick?
Yes, that one.
So what exactly is this item you want, Gideon?
Oh, it's a Starstone family heirloom, actually. Just a simple trinket of no value to anyone outside of our family, but it is historically significant for us. Here's the thing, though. My sources suggest it'll be secured behind a gene-locked panel. So only a member of our bloodline can retrieve it.
Ah, so that's why me. And I suppose you're just too busy running a galactic megacorporation to pop over and get it yourself, eh?
Something like that, yes. Besides, you do so like your mysteries, don't you? Here's a thought. Why don't you take your distant world's ship? Then it'll be just like old times, won't it? You should have the coordinates now, so just give me a call when you get back.
Cass, is it just me, or is he really, really creepy?
In a word, yes.
Get the ass ready, Cass. Looks like we're going on a dig.
I don't understand, Turjan. This is nowhere. I mean, we're still in the bubble, but this system is just a bog-standard uninhabited M-class with a bag of snowballs in it. Trust me, I used to be a telescope, so I know how utterly and completely ordinary a system like this is. Why would the head honcho of Starstone Industries send you out here?
Beginning to wonder that myself now. I think he's just messing us about. I bet he just spun that yarn about archaeology so I'd agree to come out here. There's probably nothing out here but a fleet of journalists with holo cameras, all babbling about how exciting it is to be out exploring.
Exploring? We're barely 50 light years from home. That's not exactly the far black, is it?
Nah, it's backyard territory for us, but you know, journalists, if it's more than 2 hours from the nearest pub, they all act like it's some great adventure into the unknown. Wow! I think it's safe to say that this is not a simple photo shoot after all.
Yikes. What the hell is that?
Well, I guess that explains what Gideon meant by space archaeology. This is a generation ship, one of the missing ones, apparently.
A what?
A generation ship. Before hyperdrives were invented, the only way to make interstellar journeys was by using huge colony ships like these. Almost like travelling cities in space. Because they had to travel at sub-light speeds, it meant none of the original crew would live to see the ship's destination. It would ultimately be down to their children, or even grandchildren, to start the colony.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm afraid these particular grandchildren won't be starting anything. This ship is dead in space.
Minimal power, no life support, and the hull appears to be completely depressurized. It's a derelict.
Derelict, eh? Well, that's going to complicate things. What exactly did you mean just then when you said minimal power?
Barely enough to keep those navigation lights running and that spinny bit spinning.
Still enough to generate all those creepy sounds, though.
Well, creepy sounds or not, looks like I'm getting suited up then. Cass, see if you can find us a parking spot with access to the interior.
I'll scan around for data logs. Maybe they'll tell us what happened to the ship.
Turjan, I don't like this.
It's all very wrong. Are you sure you have to go inside this thing?
Well, yes. I can't exactly retrieve Gwydian's heirloom from out here now, can I?
And we can't retrieve you if anything goes wrong. Please be careful. This place is creepy as hell.
You're not wrong there. Shame Gwydian couldn't come, actually. He'd probably love it. It's bloody dark in here. You're right, Cass.
About it being creepy as hell?
No, well, yes it is. That's not what I meant. I meant you're right about the no power and no air thing. Whatever happened here, there's no one left alive to talk about it. Any luck finding the ship's logs, Andra?
Just fragments, really. I'll see if I can cobble some together for you.
Cheers. Oh, look at this. Seems to be a vapor of some kind in this corridor. It's fogging up my visor.
Oh no. What's wrong?
Turjan, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It just felt like I had cold water dripping down my neck for a moment there. Thought this fog had got inside my suit somehow. Just my imagination. At least I hope it's just my imagination.
I hate you sometimes.
You know that? Why do you always bloody do this to me?
Sorry. Well, this should cheer you up. I can just make out a bluish light up ahead. Must be on a separate power supply from the main ship. Just a sec.
What was that?
Ah, that's better. I can see again. Now, let's have a butcher's. Yeah, it's not promising.
Well, it sounds like you found something.
But was it a good something or bad?
Oh, good something, I think. Insofar as anything here could be called good, I guess. Any news on those logs, Andra?
Out, brief candle.
What?
Alas, most of the logs are gone. It was all the ships yesterday's, you see? They've sent the logs to a dusty death.
Right. Just what were you watching on TV earlier anyway? No, never mind. So, did you manage to salvage any logs or what?
Oh, I got a few. Yes, it was a tragedy.
Aye, if all the ship's data's gone, I'd definitely call that a tragedy.
Actually, I was referring to the thing I was watching on TV earlier. That was a tragedy.
Ah, right.
But what happened here was even worse. Here, have a listen to the logs while you head back.
Laceration. He was taking a mineral sample on a nearby asteroid. The suit got braids, but he managed to apply an emergency seal before anything serious happened. The mineral made a discovery that has filled me with dread. This contagion is altogether more alien than that. It has no human origin. It comes from Gottlieb, the scientist who was injured a few days ago. 99/9. We are lost. Half the ship's population is already dead. 98% of those remaining are infected.
Teams are working round the clock to vent the bodies into space, but
They're piling up so quickly. This place is so quiet now. Used to seem like life, and now there's just silence along the empty corridors. I should probably go for one last walk. While I still can.
Oh, well, that was, bugger.
Turjan, don't you think you should have waited for Andra to unscramble those logs before leaping in there and fannying about with gene-locked panels?
Very probably, yes. Hey, Spud? I'm, not gonna turn into a zombie or anything again, am I? Yeah, haha, very funny. Now, come on, seriously, am I okay?
Care to translate that for me?
Oh, he says I'm immune thanks to what happened last time. That's a relief. I certainly didn't fancy having my pants stuffed with alien fungus again. Right, let's get the hell out of this creepy place, eh? Hello, Gwydion.
Ah, you're back. Things went well, I trust.
Well, it depends on your definition of well, really. I have the heirloom, if that's what you mean, but seriously, that wasn't archaeology, it was a mass grave. Why didn't you tell me what was out there?
Oh, come now, and spoil the surprise. I know how much you like your mysteries. Besides, you're not exactly a stranger to situations like that, are you?
Which situation? The derelict ship or the space virus that I... Hang on. So that's why you insisted I went in my old exploration ship. You thought that would be enough to recreate the conditions where I survived the last space virus. It was a bit of a leap of faith, wasn't it?
Well, if you hadn't been so evasive in your account of what really happened to you out there, I would have been able to make a more informed decision, wouldn't I? But you're entitled to your little secrets, I suppose.
But what if I hadn't made it back?
Turjan, my boy, have you ever known me to send you into a situation where you came back dead?
Well, no. But there's always a first time, isn't there?
Well, in that case, you have my word that the first time would also be the last. Goodbye.
Goodbye. He just keeps getting creepier, doesn't he?
Is that even possible?
Good point.
Turjan, something's bothering me about this whole thing.
Oh? What's that then, Andra?
Well, clearly Gwydion already knew about both the heirloom and the missing generation ship.
Well, it makes sense that he'd know from historical records if a member of our family had been on the Lycaon. But yeah, now you mention it, that on its own doesn't explain how he knew about the ship's current location. Then again, it wouldn't exactly be the first time Starstone Industries had inside knowledge about a thing like that.
True. But he also seemed to know the heirloom was behind a gene-locked panel. That seems oddly specific, wouldn't you say?
I suppose it does, really. What are you getting at, Andrew?
What if you weren't the first person he'd sent to retrieve the heirloom?
Well, then whoever he sent out there before would be dead now.
Are you sure about that? Did you find anyone floating around there who wasn't actually part of the original crew?
Well, now that you mention it, no.
So how is it Gwydion knew about the gene-locked panel? Answer, because someone told him about it. Someone who had both seen it and survived being exposed to the alien virus. Someone we can also assume wasn't a Starstone, because the panel was still locked when you found it.
But wait, that would mean... Oh my god, of course. Cabot. You're talking about Grantham Cabot, aren't you? What do you know? Sir Cabot worked for Gwydion at Starstone Industries, eh? I hadn't seen that coming.
Indeed. And it certainly explains those Starstone Industry IDs I found in the wreckage of the ships that were chasing Cabot, doesn't it?
Bloody hell. Cass, remind me never to cross wits with creepy Uncle Gwydion.
I will, provided you remember to tweak my programming so I actually can't say creepy Uncle Gwydion at all.
If you enjoyed this episode of Turjan's Travels, please click the like button and subscribe to keep up to date with future video releases. Thanks for watching.